It's a really bad grab of the coffee.
My coffee's cold.
My coffee's gone.
That was a win.
That was a good one, yeah. That was not a bad rushed one. That was a good rush.
That was a good one. I feel like it was natural.
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jonathan Howard.
Hello, Mimi Langley.
Why is your name first and my name is last in the intro? We got to, someone, I'm snapping my fingers. Someone please fix this. Thank you.
Remember when I said that when we first got it recording, you said, no, it's fine.
I said that? I approved?
You approved of it.
Signed the line? Okay.
You're actually the one that had the final one done for us. So yes, it is your fault.
Oh my gosh. I still visualize us coming out onto our tour stage, you know, and my ball gown and you have your tux.
I know.
And I'm like coming out last.
She sent me a ball gown the other day and via text message that she wanted to wear at some point.
Maybe that was me manifesting.
Maybe.
Okay, you guys, this episode, welcome to Coffee Social, by the way. If you're new here, cheers. Everyone grab your coffee or if you have a water or whatever you want to cheers with. Here we go.
Mimi's cheering with water.
No, I'm not. I'm cheering with black
pregnancy.
coffee. I know. You guys, I've been sipping the same cup for how many episodes have we recorded today?
3, 4, 9, I don't know.
But today's episode, it's going to be short but sweet, you guys. We're going to talk about...
Will it be
It
sweet?
hasn't been on your mind lately. Try thinking about considering starting a podcast of your own. You know, you're an entrepreneur, you're listening to us, and that's who we cater to. So we're assuming you're an entrepreneur anyways. Have you thought about starting a podcast? Right. So Jonathan, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jonathan Howard. I'm the owner of Success on Social, and I help successful coaches reach their ideal clients on social media by developing their signature styles so they're not invisible on social media. They're seen, heard, and booked.
And remembered.
And remembered.
Living rent-free in your mind.
That's right.
Hey, everyone. I'm Mimi Langley. I am multifaceted creator. I'm coming up with things. I'm a little bit on a pivot for 2025. So my thing right now is to be determined, but...
We've developed a coffee called TBD that will be soon available on Coffee Social.
TBD merch. All right, let's jump into this. We're going to try to keep this episode short, you guys, so you can get through it all.
And sweet.
Be pumped, be excited. The first one is we're basically going over like the perks. If you have a podcast, these could be your potential perks. And what we've noticed anyways as well. Number one, think about this. You are hitting a whole new group of people, a whole potential new audience that would have never discovered you on Instagram scrolling their feed. Like, what do you think about that, Jonathan?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a new audience. They discover you in a different way. It's SEO based for the most part. Obviously, you're going to be promoting it and pushing it and stuff like that. But people are looking for something different in podcasts. And there's a whole group of people that listen to podcasts that don't do social media.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you're getting exposed to a whole new audience. You're connecting with new people. And anything that you do is a great opportunity for you to grow your community.
It's kind of wild, but you're right, though. Podcast listeners are not necessarily into social media. Some of them don't even have Facebooks, I'm sure. It's like, so how else are they going to discover you, you know?
Right. Right.
I mean, they could maybe by Googling and you come up in Google search, but this is just another outlet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Recommendations. Like once you start putting out good content, and you know I say this all the time, good content always rises to the top. You know, once you start putting out good content, you'll get seen. People will notice.
And another thing too, and I agree with you on that. Another thing too is when we think podcasts, we think traditional form, which is audio only. But there are people that are creating video podcasts too. I mean, there's different angles of the podcasting world nowadays. So
there are. And I will argue till death comes of me that video podcasting is absolutely the way of the future. And you should be recording your video at all times and putting it out there in any way possible as video because it's another way to be discovered. Mm-hmm. However, some people don't agree with me. I think Spotify agrees with me because now you can put your full episodes on Spotify as well as clips from your episodes to promote it.
But who is the king or queen?
Spotify.
Apple.
For us, but we have very few listeners on Spotify.
Okay,
and I
well,
think we can get Discovery on there. So anyway,
Jonathan.
moving on, Mimi. Yes, moving on. I'm just bitter about that.
Number 2, you guys, it's a great way, an additional way for you to gain leads, make some money, maybe even get a sponsorship or a brand deal. I mean, think about how hot podcasts are right now. Like everybody and their mom have a podcast, which maybe you look at it as it's too saturated, but I look at it like companies want to deal with people who have a podcast. Like, do you have a podcast as well? So what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And let's go to a popular situation.
What is that?
You can't guess who just took his podcast and is now on primetime television.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Not Joe Rogan.
No.
Not Mr. Beast, because he doesn't do
No.
podcasts. It's a guy?
Yep.
And I know
He's
this
the brother
person.
of Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
No, that's his wife that just did that.
No,
right?
his wife just has a podcast.
Okay.
She just started her podcast that actually knocked Joe Rogan off the top.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Wait, Travis Kelce's brother, Jason.
Yes. Jason Kelce
Yes.
is now on ESPN, a primetime show on ESPN.
Because of the podcast.
Because of the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, but do you think that was the only reason why? Probably. I mean, that was one of the big factors.
One of the big
probably.
reasons. He could have been a commentator on ESPN, but he wouldn't have gotten his own show
Right.
in a primetime slot for
I agree.
just being there. Yeah.
I mean, he was popular in the NFL, but you're right. Like, I think
Right.
that whole thing just took their
Yes.
fame level to a new level.
Yes. We'll edit that. It's all good. Their fame to the next level.
There we go. No, but you're right though. Like as far as gaining leads and sales, I mean, there's people that's their main goal of the podcast is just to get leads.
Yep.
You know, because you have the ability to also have links and so.
Yeah. And if you're looking at, let's go back to a couple episodes ago. I don't know when this episode aired, but awareness, a podcast is an amazing awareness tool. It gives you the discovery and all that. It works really well. So, yeah.
Okay. Last one we have for you today. We'll probably do more of these, like a part 40, part 50.
We always do more. Yeah. You haven't mentioned the parts yet in a while.
But I agree, Jonathan. I agree. Immediately, I always thought of podcasting being a form of long form content, because a lot of you out there maybe you're not getting your feet wet with long form. Maybe you're just sticking with reels and TikToks. So podcasting could be the long form content that you've been looking for. So what do you think?
And even if it's a 10-minute episode, a 10-minute episode can translate to a solid blog post. It can translate into 5, 8, however many points you have in your podcast, different posts. Like a podcast is long form content. So if you're looking for long form content to create, which I believe that honestly everybody needs to be creating long form content because it's going to make your content creation process so much easier, then look at creating a podcast. If you're missing long form content, and then it can become your long form content on YouTube. It can become your long form content on your blog. It can become your short form content on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. There's a lot you can do with one longer piece of content.
And I was also thinking it could be considered evergreen depending on what you're talking about. But that's the cool thing about these podcasts. It's they have their own search engines. If you type in the word motivation, which is Jonathan's favorite word, an episode you recorded 3 years ago might pop up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yep. And that's the great thing about podcast platforms is they're searchable, just like Pinterest and YouTube are searchable. So if you put your podcast out on YouTube and people search and you have the right SEO set up and people search for what they're looking for and they find you, that episode can go through the roof.
It's pretty wild.
It can drive your business for years and years. So
we're not saying podcasting is easy, you guys.
No, it's not.
By any means. It is an extra piece of work that you do have to do, but weigh the pros and cons. It might be something that you've been looking for that you just didn't know was for you. So,
and if you love social audio, if you love talking to people, if you love, hashing out topics and maybe even getting guests on your show, it's a great opportunity for you to do that. And sometimes even just pose a question and get an answer to it.
If you love going on live on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, I don't know. Some people don't like podcasting only because it feels like they feel like they're talking to themselves, but who doesn't talk to themselves? Come on.
Get a co-host.
There's always a solution.
Yep.
Or start off as a podcast guest and see if you like the whole feel.
Yep. Lots of opportunities there. I'm going to be guesting while Mimi's out there, caring for her baby for however many months she takes off.
I get to take months off? Thanks, Jonathan.
No. Well, it depends on how many months we get. Depending on how many months we get booked, so you might be able to.
Well, you guys, that was it for this episode. We have a lot more pros, I think, when it comes to podcasting that we can go over. But for this one, I think we're good, Jonathan.
I think we're good. I think given 3 is a good number. I mean, we could give also all the cons, but we don't want to do that. It's hard fucking work.
Wait, do it. You have to beep that out. I do want you to beep something.
It's hard work.
All right, Jonathan, you want to go ahead and give your spiel?
My spiel? Yes, I'll give my spiel. I'm very Jewish when I say spiel. Kind of like schmear. Anyway, if you haven't already and you enjoy what we're saying, and I know this episode you might enjoy what I said more than one of some of the last episodes, make sure that you go over to wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a rating. Give us a comment on Spotify. Let us know what you think about it. And make sure that you give Mimi 5 stars because Mimi loves 5 stars. We're not allowed to tell you how many stars to give, but we don't want Mimi to cry. So with that, I'll throw you back over to you, Mimi.
Well, I have an important question, the most important question of them all. And that is, when you're thinking about a podcast, maybe you've already thought about this, or maybe you didn't even know to think about this. Are you team more solo podcasting or are you team interviewing people? Like if you can envision your podcast, do you feel like you would interview people a lot more? Or do you feel like you would just take it on by yourself? Something to think about.
What if you have a co-host?
Okay, well, I'm throwing that in with solo podcasting.
Okay, then solo podcasting. Although I do have another podcast idea that I want to do by myself.
No, I think that would be awesome. I just can't imagine interviewing people every single time I have an episode. Like, Call Her Daddy. Like every single episode is, it's a lot of behind the scenes work versus you just putting on your mic and just saying hi. Yeah. But anyways, I'm not against it. So tell us, what team are you? What do you envision for your podcast? And if you have a podcast, let us know. Comment on YouTube, comment on Instagram, comment on Spotify. We want to know.
You might become one of our favorite podcasts. And we do have that podcast role where we can, put you down. So let us know what your podcast is. All right.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Bye, Jonathan Howard.
Bye, Mimi Langley. Cheers.